The escape pod had crashed 3 kilometers from Adam's settlement, carving a burning scar across the frozen tundra of Epsilon 7. He'd seen the streak of fire tear through the violet sky during his evening rounds, and against his better judgment, he'd grabbed his med kit and headed out into the storm. What he found shouldn't have been alive. The woman, if she could be called that, lay half buried in twisted metal and ice. Scales the color of burnished copper covered portions of her arms and neck, gleaming beneath the blood. 2 curved horns protruded from her temples, cracked and damaged. Her breathing came in shallow gasps, each exhale releasing small wisps of smoke. "Easy now," Adam murmured, kneeling beside her. He'd seen many species during his 5 years as a frontier medic, but never anything like this. Her eyes snapped open, vertical pupils in seas of molten gold. They fixed on him with predatory intensity, and for a moment, Adam forgot to breathe. Then she spoke, her voice rough as grinding stone. "Human. Foolish. Run." "Not happening," Adam replied, already scanning her vitals with his portable med scanner. The readings made no sense. Her internal temperature registered at 340 degrees Celsius. Her bone density was off the charts. And there was something else, an energy signature his scanner couldn't classify, pulsing weakly beneath her skin like a dying star. He worked quickly, applying synthetic skin grafts to the worst of her wounds, injecting her with broad-spectrum stabilizers that probably wouldn't work but might buy time. She watched him throughout, those golden eyes never leaving his face, filled with something between confusion and wonder. "What are you doing?" she asked, her voice stronger now. "My job," Adam said simply. "I'm a medic. You're hurt. That's all the math I need." "I am Orla," she said, as if the name should mean something. "Commander of the Draconis fleet, scourge of the Krathine Empire. I have burned entire armadas from the sky." Adam carefully stabilized her fractured horn with surgical foam. "That's nice. I'm Adam. I run a medical clinic for colonists. I once removed a parasitic worm from a governor's ear." He smiled slightly. "We all have our accomplishments." Something flickered in Orla's eyes. Was it amusement? She tried to sit up, gasped in pain, and Adam firmly pushed her back down. "You're not going anywhere," he said. "You've got 3 broken ribs, severe plasma burns, and what I think is a punctured lung. You'll heal here or you'll die. Your choice." No one had spoken to Orla like that in 3 centuries. She was the Dragon Empress, the unburning flame, the warrior who had single-handedly turned the tide of the galactic war. Entire civilizations feared her name. And this human, this soft, fragile creature who should have been running in terror, was scolding her like a child. "Why?" she asked quietly. "Why help me?" Adam paused in his work, meeting her gaze. "Because you needed help. That's what we do. Humans, I mean. It's kind of our thing." He shrugged. "Besides, you're a person. Doesn't matter if you're scaled, furred, or made of crystalline energy. If you're hurt, I help. Simple as that." "Simple," Orla repeated, tasting the word. Nothing in her centuries of warfare had been simple. Victory required strategy, sacrifice, brutality. Survival meant striking first, burning brightest, showing no weakness. Yet here was this human, in a ramshackle colony at the edge of nowhere, who saw complexity and responded with simplicity. Over the next 3 days, Adam tended to her wounds in his small clinic. He brought her synthesized nutrients when she couldn't eat solid food. He regulated the temperature of her room when her fever fire threatened to consume her. He talked to her about mundane things, weather patterns on Epsilon 7, the challenge of growing crops in ice fields, the colonist children who came to his clinic with scraped knees and wonder in their eyes. He never asked about her battles, never pressed her for stories of glory or conquest. He treated her simply as Orla, not as the legend she'd become. On the 4th day, Her strength returned. Orla stood at full height, nearly 7 feet tall, and felt the power coursing through her veins once more. She could feel her fire returning, the ancient draconic energy that made her virtually immortal, nearly invincible. She could incinerate this entire settlement with a thought. Instead, she found Adam in his supply room, organizing medical equipment. "I am healed," she announced. He looked up, smiled. "Good. Try not to crash any more ships. You're murder on my supply inventory." "You know who I am," Orla said. It wasn't a question. "You've known all along." Adam shrugged. "Found your identification beacon on the second day, did a quick search, pretty impressive resume." He returned to his organizing. "Doesn't change anything. I could destroy this planet." "But you won't. How do you know?" Adam turned to face her fully, his eyes so terribly human, so utterly fearless, meeting hers without flinching. "Because 3 days ago, when you were at your weakest, you didn't. Because when I changed your bandages, you said, 'Thank you.' Because you're not just a warrior, Orla. You're a person, and people can choose kindness." Orla felt something crack inside her, some armor she'd worn for centuries. She had been called many things: destroyer, conqueror, monster, legend. But no one in 300 years had called her a person. "Your species is strange," she said softly. "Yeah," Adam agreed, grinning. "We get that a lot." When Orla's retrieval fleet arrived 2 days later, they found her standing beside the human medic, both watching the violet sun set over the ice fields. The fleet commanders trembled, waiting for orders to glass the planet, to eliminate any witnesses to their empress's moment of weakness. Instead, Orla gave different orders. "This colony is now under Draconis protection," she declared. "Any who threaten it will answer to me personally." She glanced at Adam. "And allocate 10 million credits to their medical facility. Dr. Adam's supplies are depleted." As her ship lifted off, Orla looked back at the small figure waving from below. The most powerful warrior in the galaxy had been saved by the most human of traits: simple, uncomplicated kindness. And she would never forget it. In the vastness of space, where power and fear ruled, one human had proven that sometimes the greatest strength wasn't in destroying enemies, it was in healing them. That was the human way. That was why they would inherit the stars.